All right. We may have another couple folks join us at some point, but um, we're just going to go ahead and get started because this is a great group right here. So, welcome. We are so excited you are here. Welcome to a friend bank. Can I see either like show of hands in the video or if you're off video in the chat? Have you been to a friend bank before? If you have, raise your hand or let me know in the chat. I don't see any hands in the videos. Okay, so we have a very exciting group of first-time friend bankers, which is so exciting. I am just so thrilled that y'all are here. My name is Catherine. I am a relational regional manager here with the 2020 Victory Campaign. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm calling from Los Angeles. My favorite dogs are koalas, though I do love dogs, most particularly my dog. So our goals for tonight, we are going to talk about what do those words mean, relational voter strategy. What is the strategy behind that and why is it absolutely critical for getting out the vote? We are going to learn how to organize your friends and family to vote, and we are actually going to do it. We're going to spend most of our time taking action together tonight. And then we are going to learn how to let the campaign know about the conversations that you had using the Vote Joe app. So for those of you who've never been to a friend bank before, this is a good first one to come to because we're going to make sure you feel really good about the action that you're taking before you take it. So here's how we're going to do it. We're in it right now. We're going to talk about our goals, our agenda. We're then going to spend just 5 minutes talking about what is relational voter contact, why is it part of our strategy to get to a win on November 3rd. We are then going to spend some time building our voter list, making sure we feel really good about the folks that we're going to reach out to. We're then actually going to do it. We're going to call, text, email the people in our lives that we want to talk to about this election. And then we are going to report back to the campaign about the conversations that we had. And we'll close out with a very quick evaluation. It is a packed agenda, so I'm really excited to dive in. So our norms for tonight, the first is make space, take space. We're a pretty small group here, so invite you to lean more into the taking space. Please feel free to blow up that chat box. Let us know as we go how your conversations are going. And then our second norm is get on the bike. Let me know in the chat how you learned, if you did, how to ride a bike. Did you read a book? Did you listen to a lecture on bicycleology? Did you study with a professor of bicycles? How did you learn? Tell me in the chat. Self-taught, yes. Practice, just start doing it, yes. The way we learn how to ride a bike is we just teach ourselves, right? We hop on and we do our best and we fall down, and there's no other way to learn it but just to do it. So that is exactly what we're going to do tonight. We're going to hop on that bike and we're going to give friend banking a try. And there's no other way to learn it but to do it. Another norm that we like to hold is assume best intentions. We are all here giving up a part of our Monday night because we care that much about getting Joe and Kamala and Dems up and down the ticket elected. And so if somebody says something that rubs you a little bit the wrong way, of course, feel free to ask them a question, follow up, but just go into it knowing that they care about many of the same things that you do. So approach it with some curiosity. And lastly, a couple of quick Zoom norms. Invite you to keep your camera on. I love getting to see new faces. I have spent the last 6 months with just my husband and my dog, so it is really nice. I love getting to see you. Hello, haha, it's so lovely to see your face. And invite whoever else can to go ahead and come up and be, yay, hello, Corinne, so nice to see you. And then invite you to keep yourself on mute just because it'll help us with background noise. But if I ask you to come off mute, you can always feel free to do that as well. And then please use the chat feature as much as you can. We're not a very big group, so please feel free to use that. All right, so with our agenda in place and our norms to hold us, we are going to go ahead and dive right in. So what is relational voter contact and why is it part of our strategy? Here is where we are now. How many of you received a text, a call, an email from somebody you didn't know in the last week? Let me know in the chat. Yes, and I see Corinne's hand going up. Yes. How many of you received more than one text, call, email from somebody you didn't know? Oh, Corinne says yes, at least twice a day. Idrissa says 3. Yes. All right. Now, when you see a call, a text, an email from somebody you don't know, from 0 to 100%, how likely are you to actually respond, engage, get back on that email? 0. Ooh, 50. Corinne's so nice. 1. Yes. I myself am about a 0. I wouldn't we just get so many of them in a day, it can be overwhelming. But there is a call, a text, an email that we will respond to every time. And that's the one from our mom, or from our high school best friend, or from our neighbor down the street, somebody who we actually know, who's a contact in our phone, who is somebody that maybe we've been missing in these COVID times and we're excited to talk to. And those are the people that in relational voter contact, we are reaching out to. We're reaching out to the people who take our calls because we can have quality conversations with them about their voting plan, about their volunteering plan in a way that nobody else can. So all relational voter contact means is that instead of calling strangers, we are calling the people who will answer our calls. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, yeah, but everyone I know is already supporting. Shouldn't I be calling people who I don't know, but who might be, need to be convinced? Absolutely. There are phone banks that are for that. There are text banks that are for that. But what we do in relational voter contact is we meet people exactly where they are because we know them best, and we activate them to take the next level of action. So if we know that somebody's undecided, we know how to speak to their values, to connect with them on values, and move them into being a supporter. If we already know they're a supporter with a plan, they already know exactly how they're going to get to those polls. Maybe they already submitted their ballot. We already know them, and we can talk to them about their volunteering plan. How are they turning out all of their friends and family? And really importantly, we are the people who can make sure that every single supporter is a supporter with a plan. And we never want to make assumptions that every supporter is a supporter with a plan, because a lot of us think that elections look like this. We might think that 2016 looked like this, right? That we know all the people who voted blue, we know all the people who voted red, those few people who voted orange, and that's kind of how the universe looked. And maybe we think all of our friends were in the blue chunk, or maybe they were split. In reality, over 40% of people who were eligible to vote never made it to the polls at all. If the gray section, the non-voters, were a candidate, they would have won, right? So our job is to make sure that every single one of our friends who is a supporter with a plan, that they make it to the polls, that they know exactly how they're going to vote. And voting happens on a Tuesday. It's really easy to let the day go by and suddenly you realize you never quite made it there. So when somebody asks you, have you submitted your ballot yet? What's your plan for childcare? Do you need a ride? Those are all of the things that make sure that every single supporter is a supporter with a plan. And that is how we turn that gray chunk of the pie chart blue. And then again, if we already know that they're a supporter with a plan, we can talk to them about their plan to volunteer. And this is where if we think everyone we know is in a blue state, well, you might talk to your friend who's already a supporter with a plan and say, you went to college at Arizona State. Can you call all of your friends and family who live there and make sure that they are supporters with the plan, that they are turning out to the polls, and their friends and family from Arizona State will actually pick up their calls. And that, working hand in hand with direct voter contact, is how we get to a win. Because when we are talking to our people and organizing our people, and we let the campaign know, you don't need to worry about Julia, I already talked to her, she has a plan, she already voted. Well, now the campaign can target their list a little bit better. They can talk to other people who maybe we haven't had a chance to talk to yet. And if I've already primed for Julia, hey, this election's really important, do you have your plan to vote? She's maybe that much more likely to actually pick up that phone call, respond to that text, respond to that email, because she's had me to prime her that this election really, really matters. So that's sort of the basics of what we mean when we say relational voter contact and why we think it is so incredibly important. And so we're going to get into it. We're actually going to do our friend banking. And so the first thing that we are going to do is actually build our list of people that we are going to talk to. So what you're going to need for this portion is a pen and paper or your notes app. And so when you have those things, either a pen and paper or your notes app, however you tend to like to take notes, just go ahead and write ready into the chat. So I know we're ready. Awesome, awesome, beautiful. We'll wait to get to 100% here. Josh and Julia, let me know when you're ready. All right. So now that you have your pen and paper, I want you to just think about 3 people, just 3 people in your life. Beautiful, Josh, thank you. 3 people in your life who you want to talk to about this election. Maybe they are already supporters, but you want to make sure they have a plan. Maybe they're that friend in your life that's like a little bit disorganized, and you just want to make sure they're really going to show up to the polls. Maybe there's somebody who you think might be undecided, and you want to connect with them about who they're planning to vote for. Write down 3 names, and when you have those names, throw them into the chat. Awesome. I see Haha's name. Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Awesome. We right off the bat with just the 6 of us that are here, we have about 18 names already. And these are 18 folks who are so lucky because they have somebody who cares about them enough to make sure that they're using their voices at the ballot box. All right, so you have your first 3. And what I want you to do now is think about, for each one of those 3, what is the natural way that you would reach out to them? Do they usually hear from you via text? Do you tend to like get in touch with them via like Facebook message? How do you get in touch with them? Put those ways in the chat. So for me, it's all 3 text. Awesome. So I see lots of texting. Great. So we're all going to have our texting faces on for the next few minutes. Now, this is the beauty of relational voter contact, is you know these folks, and so you know how to actually cut through and get in touch with them. So now we're going to expand this list to 10. We're going to try to get to 10 names of folks that we want to get in contact with. So start thinking creatively. Who are folks maybe that you have a hobby group with? Maybe you're in a running group together, or a knitting club. Maybe there are folks from your church, synagogue, mosque, faith community. Is there a wedding that you were supposed to go to that got canceled? Of folks you might want to see that you would have seen there. Try to get to 10 names. Ooh, look at that. Haha's got all of her names in the chat. Amazing. Hello, welcome, Althea. And just like Haha modeled for us, go ahead and let me know when you've got to your 10. Awesome. Josh is up to 7 names. Love to see it. I'm going to give this another 2 minutes. If you already reached 10 names, keep going. Give it another 30 seconds here. Build this list as much as you can. We love to see Corinne's focused face. I know she's thinking of so many names. Ooh, look at Josh go. That list blew up. Love to see it. All right, so wherever you are in your list, go ahead and tell me in the chat the total number of people that you have on your list right now that you're gonna try to reach out to when we get to action. Throw that number into the chat. Awesome. 7. All right, so including mine, we are going to reach out to 51. Josh, I just counted the names you put in the chat and counted those as the people if you end up reaching out to more. That's awesome. So we have 51 people that we want to reach out to in the next little bit. That is pretty exciting. As a reminder, in a friend bank, there is no script. We are not going to be handing you talking points. And the reason for that is that if you imagine sitting on your couch and you see a call pop up from your sister, your best friend, and you answer it, they say, "Hello, my name is Catherine. I am a volunteer with the Democrats trying to get us to a win on November 3rd. Can we count on your support?" What would you think? What would your reaction be? Throw it in the chat. Meh. I've also gotten like, "Are you okay? Did someone hurt you? What's going on?" So yes, we don't, when we talk to our friends and family, we want to connect with them like real human beings because they are real human beings and so are we. So we're just going to connect with them the way that we always would. And then our key questions for them are, who are you supporting? Do you have a voting plan? And if the answer to both is a strong yes, then do you have a volunteering plan? How are you turning out all of your friends and family? So those are the big questions. All right. So as a reminder, you are meeting them where they are and escalating them to the next stage of action. All right. I'm going to be quiet now and we are going to reach out to our people. Let me know when you've reached out to your first person. I want you to write boom into the chat when you've made that first outreach. Josh is already at 5. He's just powering through that list. Amazing. I see lots of focused texting faces, which is what we love to see. All right. Amazing, Gemma. Tell us in the chat how it went. What did they say? Amazing. Gem is helping her friend create a plan. We love to see it. Awesome, Josh. Keep going. Yes. And who can remind Josh in the chat, what do we ask people if they have already voted? What is their next step? Yes. What is their volunteer plan? Are they coming to a friend bank? Are they coming to a phone bank? Are they organizing all of their friends and family? I see both Haha and Corinne so focused, looking at those phones, getting out those texts. Let us know in the chat, how are your conversations going? How many texts have you sent? What are your friends and family saying? Woohoo! What of Haha's friends that already voted? So what are you going to ask them? They've already voted. Josh said it before, make sure that the folks you were talking to have already voted. They have a plan to volunteer. Campaign speak, we call that catapulting. We are catapulting them to their great volunteer selves. All right, y'all. We have about 5 minutes left in this time. How many more messages, texts, emails, calls can we do in 5 minutes? Amazing, Haha, so glad to hear it. Awesome, Corinne. Your friends are on top of it. We have about 2 more minutes here. If you've already called or texted everyone on your list, try to think of 2 more people that you can get in these last 2 minutes. Yes. These are such great conversations that are happening. All right. Last 30 seconds and that last text, that last call. All right. Love to see these focused texting faces. Please feel free to keep going on the side, but would love to hear a kind of update on your numbers. So overall, so far, how many people have you attempted? How many people have you reached out to? And then how many folks have you heard back from? So I put mine in the chat for you to see. Attempted 6 people in this time. I heard back from 2. Gemma had to step off, but she let me know before she left that she attempted 7, reached 2. 7, 2, 9, and 8 from Josh. Awesome. And 10 and 5. All right, let me do some quick math here. So we heard from 13, or we attempted 13, 23, 34, 43 people. We reached out to 43 people, which is pretty fantastic. And we heard back from 10, 12, 15, 20. So we attempted 43 people. We heard back from 20. How many of you have ever been to a like traditional phone bank before? Yes, Corinne. What is a 50% response rate? Is that good? Is that low? Is that high? You can come off mute and tell me it's only the 4 of us. Yeah, it's very good. I see you in the chat. Yes.
I think it's really good. I think for texting, the rate is like 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For texting, it's like 10%. Phone banking, it's like about that. We just did 50% response rate, which goes to prove we can't unsubscribe from our moms, our friends. That's pretty awesome. All right. So first of all, also, we're just like a little baby group here, and we reached out to 43 people, got in touch with 20 voters. Many of you had conversations about volunteering, about putting up signs, about doing other events this weekend. That is huge. So I want to ask you to put up a hand like this. Put up one hand. And then give yourself a high five because you are pretty awesome. You are going to make the difference in this campaign. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, this type of voter contact works hand in hand with direct voter contact. So the campaign is sending out literally millions of texts and calls every single day. And so they need to know, who have we already talked to? And the way that we let them know that, the way that we allow these things to work hand in hand, is we use the Vote Joe app. How many of you have the app already? Let me know either. Yes. Okay. Corinne does. If you don't, you can text app. Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Go ahead and type. Oh, and you have it too. Awesome. Okay. So we're a group of app experts here. So we are going to go ahead and go into the Vote Joe app and report on who we talked to. So ideally, we talked to 20 people. We're missing Gemma, so we should end up with 18 reports at the end of this time. So the way that we file a report, actually, before I do this, we're a small group here. Let me just ask, how many of you already know how to file reports on the conversations we just had? No. Okay, great. So then we'll walk through it. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't like preaching to the choir here. Okay, Josh, go forth. You can put me on mute. Please just start filing your reports also, because you have a lot of them to file. So you just start filing. So the way we file a report is on the home screen of the Vote Joe app, you're going to press the button that says Take Action. And let me know when you're there. Give me a little thumbs up. Okay, awesome. And then you're going to hit the button that says With Someone New. All right, so now what this does is it searches for the person that you just talked to in the publicly available voter file. So to give ourselves a little practice here, the first thing that we're going to do is file a report on ourselves. So go ahead and put your first and last name. For age range, I always just put all, because it's just much easier. And then put your state. And then you're going to hit search the voter file. So now for me, there's 4 different people with my name in California, but I'm going to find the one that's in Pasadena, which is where I am, and then click on my name. Let me know when you get to your own voter record. Okay, awesome. So then all you're going to do is you can always take a look at your voter record, remind yourself when you voted, but then you can go ahead and click Continue to Report. And then there are essentially only 2 pieces of information the campaign absolutely needs. The first is Biden support. So hopefully you would click Support Biden. And your voting plan. So if you already voted, or if you have your mail-in ballot, or maybe your ballot requested, go ahead and fill that out. And then you're going to hit Send to Campaign. And that's it. That's how the campaign knows who you've talked to. So now we're going to take the next 6 minutes or so to fill out the reports for everybody that we talked to. So Corinne, you'll fill out reports for 5 people, is that right? 3 people. 5. Okay, awesome. So you'll fill out 5 reports. Haha, you'll fill out 3 reports. You're just going to fill these out for the people that you talked to tonight. And haha, do you need a walkthrough of the app, or are you feeling good? You're good. Okay, great. Awesome. Yes. So when you fill out your first report for the first person you talk to, I just want you to write report in the chat. Let me know you're done. All right, my 2 reports are done. Who's going to be next to finish all their reports? Awesome. We have 2 more minutes here. Make sure to get all of your reports done. The campaign can know how to target their work. About 90 more seconds here. Yes, we're just finishing those reports. Awesome. Let's take last 30 seconds here, wrap up any report you are in the middle of. All right. Well, congrats on your first Friendbank, first of all. Amazing. I'm actually going to ask us all to come off mute. Again, there's only 4 of us. Maybe we can just do a quick round robin and share how many people you reached out to, how many people you got in contact with, how many reports you filed, so those 3 numbers, and then the person on your list that you are most excited to follow up with and why. Who's the person still lingering that you're like, I'm going to talk to that person, I'm going to make sure that they're voting. So those 3 numbers, how many people you reached out to, how many people you connected with, how many reports you filed, and then who you're excited to follow up with. And maybe, Haha, can I ask you to go first?
Hi, everyone. I reached out to 15 of my friends and family, and 2 of them confirmed that they already voted. 1 just became a citizen, and I've been bugging my best friend to vote. It's going to be his first time to vote, so I'm really excited for his first time to vote, and I will make sure that he will vote. And told him to also message his friends because he has a lot of friends. And you know, sometimes Filipinos don't vote, you know, they're too lazy. So I want to make sure like the Filipino mafia are gonna vote. And I'm excited to hear from my aunt, who's a Republican. I just want to make sure, you know, my friends and family vote. I mean, ultimately, you know, I don't want to convince them to vote for Biden or anybody, but most of my friends are liberals anyway. But yeah, so, and I made a report, I filed a report, and just like on the report said that I message, and I am going to continue to message. I just want to dedicate the rest of the month to volunteer for this campaign.
So love it. Thank you so much. No regrets November. All right, Corinne, how about you?
Well, I tried reaching out to about 10 people, and I heard back from 4. Like I said, I think 3 of them already voted. I did those reports. You know, a lot of the people I am hanging out with right now are just like me, and they're volunteering and they've already voted. So, you know.
That's good too. You surround yourself with good people. Awesome. Thank you, Corinne. All right, Josh, close us out.
I contacted 9 people, heard back from 8. I'm pretty sure a good chunk of them, well, they already have voting plans. They're voting for Biden. I just wanted to make sure that they knew where to drop their ballots off. I'm probably just going to follow up with some of them. Probably just try to think of more people in my hometown or battle state kind of places, because I'm in Washington, D.C., and well, everybody here votes blue, and everybody here volunteers. So I'm just trying to like think outside of my local community right now.
Love it. Thanks, Josh. I reached out in the time that we were here together to 6 people, heard back from 2. I am most excited to follow up with my friend who lives in Virginia. She is like giving birth any second, so I want to make sure that she has submitted her ballot before she heads to the hospital, because I know she really cares about this. So I want to make sure she figures out a way to get that done for sure. All right, so let's talk a little bit about next steps. So we are 15 days away from Election Day, which is wild. We are so close. And there is a lot going on. And so really want to encourage you, there's 3 different ways that you can take action. So the first is to come to another Friendbank and bring a friend with you. So maybe there's even somebody else in your house who's been kind of like lingering on the side. They can come and join in, come with you to the Friendbank. So that is one option. And I will put the link to sign up for that there. It's in the chat. The second option is if you saw this and you're like, I could totally do what Catherine just did. Like I can facilitate a friend bank. We are going to have 90 friend banks happening over the next 2 weeks. We are going to be using every hour of every day to do these friend banks. Most of them will not be led by people from the campaign like myself. They will actually be led by volunteer leaders. So if you liked tonight, if you had fun, you can also become part of a vote team and be part of a team of 3 people who actually facilitate these friend banks and help other people sign up and organize their friends. And then the third and final, and that you can sign up to be trained in the vote teams at the link that I already put in the chat. And then the third and final thing is that, like we said, relational voter contact and direct voter contact go hand in hand. So we do also have traditional kind of phone banks where you are reaching out to the people in your community who you are not yet in community with, right? So you're reaching out to people who you don't yet know. And I will put the link to sign up for those in the chat as well. And while I am just typing that out, what I would love to hear from each one of you, again, there's only 4 of us, so there's nowhere to hide, is which of those 3 options sounds most intriguing to you? Are you wanting to sign up for another friend bank? Are you wanting to sign up for leading a friend bank? Or are you wanting to sign up for a phone bank? So take just 30 seconds to think about it, and then we'll do a quick whip around to close us out. And if you can do more than one, of course. All right, Josh, kick us off. Are you thinking friend bank, phone bank, or leading a friend bank?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll definitely do one, but I don't have a decision yet. I just started a new teaching gig this week, so I don't want to commit to anything.
Yeah, congratulations and good luck. Teaching right now is super hard. Okay, well, we will follow up with you. Please come to whatever you can. How about you?
I've signed up for phone banks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Yes. And we hope we will see you at Friend Banks as well. And Corinne.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and sign up for a phone bank.
Awesome. All right. Well, the link is there. Please sign up there. We would be so excited to see you again. If you ever want to come back to a friend bank, we also have many, many of those. So please come back for those as well. We would love to see you there too. All right. And with only 2 minutes left in this time, I just want to say thank you again to each of you for giving of your time. As you continue to hear back from your people, please remember to file your reports in the Vote Joe app, because that again helps that direct voter contact and the relational voter contact work hand in hand. So please remember to do that. Appreciate each one of you. Have a beautiful rest of your evening, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.